Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is the day 2 of our chapter what are living organisms made up of. So this was a new session I have started for the USDE students, means American students. So there are two types of cells. What are they? We all know that each and every living organism is made up of cells. So that is the reason cells are known as the fundamental unit of life. So cells are two types. What are they? So first, cells are classified into two types. So among them, names are prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So the organisms which have prokaryotic cells inside them, they are known as prokaryotes, and the organisms which have eukaryotic cells inside them, they are known as eukaryotes. So human beings are prokaryotic or eukaryotic. So human cells are eukaryotic cells. That means is developed cell. Eukaryotic cells are developed cell. That is the reason humans are also known as eukaryotes. So why I am telling that eukaryotic cells are more developed than, so there is a difference. We have known that nucleus is a very important thing of our life, of our cell, which controls all the metabolic activities of a cell. It controls all the cell organelles function, like all the cell organelles present. So, but in the case of prokaryotic, this nucleus is not present. That is the reason as a low classified cell, and prokaryotic cells have nucleus. So, they are high classified cell, and the organisms which have the eukaryotic cells, they are high classified organism rather than the prokaryote. So prokaryotes example is bacteria. Here the image is also a bacterial cell. So first, in the prokaryotic cell, what we can identify? The first thing, this tail. This is not called as tail. It looks like tails, but it has 3 or 4 parts. It is called flagellum. Flagella, we call it flagella. So it helps. So what is the function of its flagella? So it helps the living organism to locomote, to move, to motion. It helps to give that object to be in motion. Suppose bacteria have to locomote from one place to another for reproduction, for favorable climate, or for food. So this is the function of our flagella, which is present in the bottom part or the outside part of a cell. So prokaryotic cells have 3 layers outside them. What are they? You have got 2 layers. Animal cells have 1 layer, cell membrane or plasma membrane. Plant cell have 2, cell wall and plasma membrane. And they have also, prokaryotic cells have also one another outside layer, that is called capsule. So first capsule, then cell wall, then cell membrane. So capsule is the outermost layer of a prokaryotic cell. So in the MCQ or the short question type, if this question comes, what is the outermost layer of a prokaryotic cell called? Or what is the outermost layer of a bacterial cell called? Because in CBSE, question can be a bit shuffled. So that is the reason you have to be clear concept. Otherwise, if your concept is not crystal clear, it will be really harder to answer CBSE questions, as CBSE questions are not straightforward. So prokaryotes are mainly single cell organisms, means unicellular organisms. So by the function of cell organelles, means by the presence of cell organelles, there are 2 types, means prokaryotic and eukaryotic, and the number of cells present inside a inside a living organism, they are also different. They are classified into 2 types. So unicellular and multicellular. So humans are multicellular and eukaryotic, but bacteria is prokaryotic and unicellular. So humans only have 1 cell. No, humans have billions of cells. That is the reason cell division is also there. The cell division also 2 types of there. Meiosis, mitosis. Mitosis is cell division in every parts of our body, and meiosis is the special for reproductive organs, like it is the cell organelles, like for the male cases, the sperm which is secreted by testes, that is that cell division is meiosis, and in case of females, the eggs or the ovum are the meiosis cell division. We are not talking about cell division today. Today's video we are discussing about the types of cells. So this was the difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. And one major difference, in the prokaryotic cell, DNA is circular, but in case of eukaryotic cell, DNA is linear, like our DNA looks like this. This is our centromere, this is chromatin. So DNA full form, you guys know. If you don't know, let me tell you. DNA full form is deoxyribonucleic acid. So another difference of prokaryotic and eukaryotic is eukaryotic have 80 Wedberg ribosomes, but prokaryotic has 70 Wedberg ribosomes. Now Wedberg is written as like 70S and 80S. Spelling is Svedberg. It is pronounced as Wedberg, but S comes faster. S is as silent. But when you write in short form like 70S, 80S, you have to write in the S, not V. That it is pronounced as V. Wedberg, that means you write V. That is wrong. So this was the major difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Now moving on to our next part, that is three types of cells. So the three types of solutions, and how can it affect the cell to swell up or the develop. So first is our hypotonic solution. In the hypotonic solution, a RBC has been taken for example. So what is the condition of this red blood cell? So see, in the hypotonic solution, dilute, in the outside the molecules are less, but inside the molecules are so densely packed, so high, means molecules rate is so higher. So what does it mean? In the hypotonic solution, hypo means lesser. So we consider outside the environment outside the cell. So hypo means hyper means what? More, but hyper, because sometimes we say na, don't be hyper. That means if your BP is rising, you're filled with anger. That is the reason. Hyper means more, hyper means less. So outside environment molecules are less. That is the reason it is hypotonic solution. And in case of hypotonic solution, cell swells up. In hypotonic solution, don't get perplexed. Just to, okay. Hypotonic solution, outside environment we consider in hypotonic solution. The outside molecules, outside environment of the cell is molecules are lesser than the inside, and the cell gets swell up. The swollen cell, it is also called as swollen red blood cell. So here it is taken as RBC, but if you can take out different types of cells. But main thing is hypotonic solution, outside molecules are lesser than the inside one, and cell gets swell up. Now we come to the hypertonic solution. Now hypertonic solution, concentrated solution, that is known as shrunken or crenated, you can say. So shrunken, why the cell gets shrunken? So here, as I said, we take the outside environment of the cell. So here outside environment is what? Here as hyper means more, a lot of molecules are present outside the cell. So inside it is lesser than the outside. In case of hypotonic solution, the scenario was different. It was inversely different, right? But in case of isotonic solution, there is no point of learning anything, because inside, outside, both the concentrations are the same. Inside the cell is also same, outside is also. That is known as isotonic, means normal. In the normal case scenario, it is there. But in case of hyper, outside molecules are more than the inside one, and in case of hypo, inside molecules are more than the inside ones. This was the three types of solutions. You can have to remember to understand this cell chapter more specifically, and move it more interesting. You will get more interested in this, because cell is very important thing. This cell will stay with forever. Means cell is the backbone of biology. If you want to learn biology with a good will, you have to understand the cell, tissue parts, all are interlinked. Next is, I was talking about nucleus, right? The nucleus, I was talking about that here the nucleus is in the prokaryotes, nucleus is not present in the eukaryotes. So in the nucleus, now we are going to talk about nucleus. So nucleus is the brain of the cell. I have told a lot of times, a million times, that nucleus controls all the metabolic activity. That is the reason it is the brain of the cell. Means in our brain also, A neuron is there, the nerve cell. It receives all the impulses happening in our body. If someone is ant has been sitting in my hand, my left hand will react to remove that hand from my right hand, remove that ant from my right hand. So this impulse, this brain is receiving all the functions brain is doing. So same here, all the function inside the cell, this nucleus is doing. So nucleus is a double membrane structure. Means it has a double membrane, two membranes. So contains the genetic material for inheritance. When the cell division occurs, it transfers the genetic material. That is the main function of the nucleus. So genetic material is DNA. Inside the nucleus, chromosomes are present, and chromosomes contains DNA, deoxyribonucleic acids. So another in the chromosomes part, we are going to discuss in the next, after nucleus also we are going to discuss in a bit inside view of the chromosome. So nuclear membrane contains pores that allow the transfer of materials, means from the nucleoplasm to the cytoplasm. And one thing point to be noted, that nucleoplasm plus cytoplasm equal to protoplasm. You have to remember that. Means altogether nucleoplasm plus cytoplasm is considered as protoplasm. So don't get confused that a new term we have heard, what is protoplasm. Okay. So nuclear membrane means the membrane, here it is the nucleus, here the membrane contains some pores to transfer material from inside or outside, inside out, for the inside out of the materials. Now let's jump into the next part of our part, is chromosomes. So 2 minutes ago I was discussing the chromosomes. The genetic material contains DNA, RNA, histone, protein. So what are the chromosomes? Chromosomes are the genetic material present inside the nucleus. Here, not in the nucleus, means in the nucleus, inside the nucleus, both are the same. It contains DNA with associated protein. Associated protein means here histone protein. Histone protein. So remember the name of this protein, that is histone, Hist. The next is there are present as threads, like called chromatins, sister chromatids we call it, sister chromatins, chromatins. So thread-like structures, they are chromatins. So chromatins are made up of DNA, RNA and histoproteins. So after during the cell division, chromatins, like the threads are there, right? So that threads swell up and sum up to make a chromosome. So this is also a minor difference between chromatin and chromosomes. It is very important. These types of difference, like eukaryotic, prokaryotic difference, unicellular, multicellular difference, chromatin, chromosomes difference, or centromere. What is centromere? These types of questions. Centromere, you have to write, it joins two sister chromatins. Always write two sister. Next is our chromosome, cytoplasm. So what is cytoplasm? So cytoplasm, as I said, cytoplasm plus nucleoplasm is protoplasm. So cytoplasm is nothing, the jelly-like structure inside the cell. This orange part. This orange part here, all the orange parts you can see, that orange part is known as, here original color of cytoplasm is not orange. For the diagram I am just telling you, this orange part is known as cytoplasm. Means cytoplasm is present everywhere inside the cell, means all the cell organelles lie on the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is nothing, a jelly-like structure present outside the nucleus, outside the nucleus but inside the cell membrane. These types of assertion reasoning type questions can also come. Get you confused, but don't be in dilemma, because it's very crystal clear. I am making you crystal clear that cytoplasm lies outside the nucleus but inside the membrane. That means it is present inside the cell. So cytoplasm is the fluid found inside the cell. Same thing, it is fluid, jelly-like structure, but not fluid like our water flows, H2O, but it's jelly-like, but it's kind of dense, because obviously it's present inside the cell. So cytoplasm has all the cell organelles. See, It has our Golgi apparatus, it has our mitochondria, it has our plastid, it has our ribosomes, it has our all the proteins and inside the cell membrane obviously. So it all the cell organelles, so the sum of is all the cell organelles lie in the cell. Next is lysosomes. So lysosome is our second last topic of our video. So what are lysosomes? So lysosomes are also called as suicidal bags. Yeah, here it is. Suicidal bags of the cell. Why? So after completion of its function, here in the PPT it is not. Let me tell you. Let me explain. So lysosome are the called suicidal bags of a cell of the cell. Why? Because after completion of its function, it releases enzymes which with slowly process with a slow process it eats all the cell organelles. Now you will say why? Because the cell organelles we call it, it's like some let me give you an easy example. Your hand is like this, you rub it, you have fallen a lot billions of cells. Why? Because the cells were dead. There's a new cells in every second, billions of cells are forming, billions of cells are forming due to cell division, and billions of cells are dying because of lysosomes. If lysosome doesn't do up to its work, up to its mark, then there will be a billions of cells. So that cell, a lot of cell division in a function, like in a minute a billion cells are produced, but in a minute if 2 billion cells are produced, that disease is called cancer. And doctors with a study of cancer are known as oncologists. So lysosome also helps in defense by attacking a foreign object, a foreign substance, some a virus. A COVID virus was a hot topic a year ago, not a year ago, months ago. So as that COVID virus has entered your body, now lysosome, what will lysosome does? Because WBCs are all same function of WBCs, but main lysosome function is suicidal bag. Means after completion of its function, it releases the enzymes. So the enzymes slowly eats the cell organelles. So as the cell organelles are absent in a cell, cell will be considered as dead. So if a new COVID, suppose a foreign object has entered your body, so lysosome will defense, will help in, will try to eat or what do you say, well up or to eat it, like directly eat it, in a simple language, eat it because that virus could harmful to your body. The same function WBC is dead, white blood cells. The last topic of our video, mitochondria. Now what is mitochondria? You everyone has that fuse box, right, in their home. So what is the function of the fuse box? The same as the mitochondria. Fuse box, if you turn off the fuse box, all the lights and fans, ACs, all the electronic devices will be turned off. Same thing, if you turn off, if you withdraw the mitochondria from the cell will be dead. Why? Because this mitochondria, this semi-autonomous structure produces ATP, adenosine triphosphate, T-phosphate. In the last video also I have told that ATP is adenosine triphosphate. So they have also DNA that makes them semi-autonomous structure. Right now I have told that semi-autonomous structure. Semi-autonomous structure means mitochondria, the cell organelles which have their own DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, that is known as semi-autonomous organelle. In the exam also it can come. Name two cell organelles. Have name two semi-autonomous cell organelles. You have to name mitochondria and plastid. Plastid have also have their own DNA. So mitochondria can make their own proteins. Proteins here we are talking about ribosome. So what ribosome produces proteins, the same thing mitochondria can also produce. So mitochondria is kind of independent cell organelle. It can produce, it has its own DNA. That is the reason. Sure. A semi-autonomous organelle. So here in the picture, see in the bluish part, that is mitochondrial DNA. In the bluish part, see I am underlining this DNA. See, and this greenish, this part is matrix. Here ATP synthesis is with there. This is red part. This red part known as granules. This outer part, this bluish part is known as porins. And see intermembrane space, here intermembrane space is also there. Intercellular space means the space between cells, and intermembrane space means the space between membranes. Now it has, see this one is intermembrane, this inner membrane yellowish part, and the greenish here part is outer membrane. There are ribosomes also there. This yellow thing. You see that there are ribosomes. So here I have discussed the detailed structure of mitochondria. Also, we have discussed a lot of our cell organelles. So wait for the video. I will not push you hard to understand. We'll go little farther. Our steps will be always be counting, and yeah, our small steps towards success will lead us to somewhere. I think that would be positive. So this is it for the video. We will meet in the next video. Stay safe and keep reading your books, because book reading is very life. So we will meet in the next video. Thank you very much.